Sheodul at a mysteriously mythical location somewhere near this light source. I thought to make an introduction to a video that I was making about an issue that I think is kind of really important that tends to get overlooked. How we perceive what we do in the world and how others perceive it, because I think sometimes, and I know it's this when people talk about politicians, for example, not a subject that I particularly like to talk about, but this is what my piece of music is about. So I just wondered whether you ever considered, does a politician think that his job is the same as what you think their job is? Because what you might think their job is might not be nothing to do with what they think their job is. And okay, this was my 1 minute introduction to my video. So I just thought it was a worthy thing to think about. Think about what you think. Why do you think somebody does a particular thing, and possibly why somebody else might think that what they're doing is completely not that at all. Yeah. Plus, it also depends. I think it's really important thing that just in case politicians think I don't understand their situation. It must be difficult being a politician because you've got your own situation, you've got your position in your political position, then you've got your political position in your party, and then you've got the party's position and the people who back you up and the favours you owe and all this other stuff, and then the people who finance the party and keeping them happy and keeping the country running and looking out for foreign this and foreign investors and blah 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 blah. It could be a real head wrecker and a big melting pot of mushy brain stuff that probably lots of people wouldn't have the kind of personality to put up with, But I wouldn't. I can make big grand statements, but I'm not really I just wouldn't have the patience for that kind of game that goes along in politics, and inevitably it is a game, so you have to look at it that way, and I think a lot of people should consider whether the politicians think they're doing or what a politician thinks they're doing or is doing, or their way of perceiving what they're doing in relation to, say, how you perceive what a politician is doing, should be doing, etc. And then on what basis you make that observation, on what basis they make the observation, I'm not promoting politicians and I'm not putting them up or down. I'm just saying because a lot of people make that statement, the government should do something about this or that, or politicians should do something about this or that. But there's like, it's like the government doesn't run the country. The government is just a representation of a group of people who have gathered enough energy and force to basically be, quote, in power. That doesn't necessarily mean that they have the interests of the country, the people, the nation, the state, or that either the nation, the state, the country, and the people. What's the legal difference between those things? The state, there's the government, right? The state, the people, the nation, the country, and the sovereign land. What's the difference legally between all those things, you know what I mean? And then what's the difference legally between what a politician is doing and what you think they should be doing? Because it's not necessarily the same thing, kind of thing. Now, and again, I'm not judging politicians because it's just a big complicated mess to deal with stuff like that. So that's why I thought it was an interesting thing to think about. I was hoping to keep, where we go back the other way. I like the light in the background because it's kind of like the earth moving around, and then there's the sun. Anyway, the point is you have to consider whether what you think somebody is doing and what they think they're doing and what they're actually doing all amount up to the same thing, and what they're supposed to be doing in relation to who decided what they're supposed to be doing. And what is the kind of do you know the way you delegate what is the most important thing to do? this is important, that's less important, and you kind of go, okay, I got to take care of these things first, and I'll take care of those other things later. And you know how various parties are going to see that. Some people are going to see it totally different to other people, you know, that kind of way. And so in that respect, yeah, is what you're seeing what somebody else is seeing. That's kind of that kind of idea, that kind of question, you know. So right now I'm going to cut the video because I've spoken long enough, and I hope you will consider thinking about what I said. For your own conclusion, not really for me, because I don't. I have my own conclusion, but I'm not really promoting my conclusion. I'm only promoting the idea of thinking about it. And then that goes for other people as well, not just politicians, like scientists, experts. Experts, what are they doing? Experts of what? Who said they were an expert? Anyway, you know, what people say, they are, what that means, and who does it mean what to. Because what something means to you might not mean that to me. It might mean something else to me. What something means to a politician might mean something completely different as well. So, yeah, we should consider that. Okay, thanks for listening.